really just doesn't. They did this whole reinvention of Bobby Roode, and he does this. He goes after this title. It's just pointless. It's like Mick Foley came out to announce it, and then straight away everyone's expectations were high. They were like, oh, he's iconic for the hardcore title, isn't he? Remember when that came out and he was the first ever champion? It must be something along those lines. And it is along those lines, but it's the hardcore title without the hardcore kind of...
Can't use that word anymore.
It's confusing because it doesn't have a hardcore rule, but you can pin people anywhere, in the car park or whatever, so it's falls count anywhere, but are you allowed to use weapons? I don't know. It's just so confusing.
And wasn't there something about it only gets defended in the last hour of Raw or something like that?
They said that, didn't they?
Oh my
God. That, but then they sort of they changed their mind on that as well, didn't they? Because it starts turning up at different times. It's just things like, it's very pointless. And unless they start doing this in WWE live events, at least that might actually be kind of entertaining. But I doubt they probably even do that.
Yeah, this is something that I would have expected TNA to sort of come up with back in their worst days. This is the sort of thing they would have done when we had like a global championship and all that type of stuff. But I mean, oh man, as soon as the funny thing was, man, it got booed. I mean, it got booed as soon as poor Mick took it out. I mean, there was nothing he could do. And that's Mick Foley, and the belt got booed. And now every time they talk about it, it gets booed. It's that unpopular already. I mean, damn. We had a podcast once. We done a show on what good looking belts, didn't we, and stuff like that. And I know Hardcore belt was up on my top one. I loved that belt, but I mean, I would have give anything for that. At this stage, I'd say the only reason they haven't got that, quite frankly, is because of the Hardcore name. I'm sure that it's like not PG enough for them. But in any case, this is just another title added to so many titles that they don't know what to do with. Why they would have another one is beyond me. They don't even do well with the ones they got. I mean, the women's tag team belts, they barely had that up and running yet. You've got all the tag team belts. We don't know what's going on. We've got 2 women's champions. I mean, there's just so many. It's unbelievable. If I was doing fantasy booking, Matt, I was thinking maybe Brock will come out with the Money in the Bank, cash in and win the 24 belt, and then just throw it in the bin and walk off. And that would have done me all the world of good. But no, we weren't going to get that, of course. Now, speaking of Brock Lesnar, Matt, what's going on with him? Because God Almighty, oh Christ, where do you go? I mean, look, it's cool. I like the fact they're doing something different with Brock. Don't get me wrong, I do think it was getting a little bit stale, and they need to throw it up a bit. But now we got Brock Party, Mark. We got beatbox Brock Lesnar, who comes down with funky music, it seems. I liked the segment they did on Raw. It's like quite entertaining. I like the bit where he was just hitting Paul Heyman with the papers, and what are you talking about? I've got a whole year, as if he didn't realise, which probably is about right for Brock Lesnar. I doubt he watches the product to even know how to use Money in the Bank. It's probably about realistic for Brock Lesnar to not know. I'll buy that one. But what do you make of this situation? Because I think Brock's entertaining with it. I like the fact that he's talking. He doesn't have to talk for 15 minutes, but when he does talk, it's always something you're thinking, blimey, what's he going to come out with? Because you never know with him. He swears, he does all the off the cuff stuff. He's probably not scripted of everybody there. But at the same time, Matt, when you've got Seth Rollins out there, who it's almost like Brock's the champion and Seth is the challenger still, even though Seth has won. I'm like, shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't Brock be trying to get the match with Seth rather than the other way around, and Seth be like, get to the back of the queue until you're ready or whatever? I don't know if this helps situation at the minute, Matt. What do you think they're doing here with all this? And I know a lot of people said they're going to go back to what they know again because of the ratings, and they're going to put the belt back on Brock as soon as. What do you think they're trying to do here with this one, Matt?
Just like shooting themselves in the foot constantly. And it's something different for Brock, but is that a good thing? It was was something different for Braun Strowman, wasn't it, when they started having him do mixed tag team matches and do adverts and start, calling Alexa Bliss cute and like tag teaming with a 12-year-old. Oh, that was something different for him. But did that help him? No.
Yeah.
Brock's supposed to be a scary monster. He's supposed to be like, you get in the ring with him, and you don't know whether you're getting out of that without a trip to the hospital. That's what you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to come out there and dance and beatbox and laugh and have a little bit of a joke, oh, what a cute guy he is. No, it's scary, and that's why you're supposed to fear him. You're supposed to go into the ring and have that about it. You're supposed to feel like he's a legitimate title threat, not that he's there to have some fun. I mean, I know he gets paid a lot of money, so he can do whatever he wants, but you're supposed to think that someone that steps into the octagon has that mentality about them, that the person across the ring from you is a threat that you're going to eliminate, and it's just not coming across that way now.
Yeah, I was almost expecting when Brock won the Money in the Bank the night on Raw, him to come on and like try and open the briefcase thinking there was actually money in there and be really pissed off that there wasn't, because there's no better gimmick thing for him to have than that Money in the Bank, because that's literally what he's got from WWE, quite frankly, and the reason he's around again is literally money in Brock's bank. I think I could have come up with something better for them to do with Brock Lesnar in that department that would have been a little bit more realistic, shall we say. But in any case, because Brock just literally seems to get carte blanche of doing whatever he fancies. I mean, at this rate, I can see him becoming more of a baby face, like getting over at the end of this. I mean, I honestly can. I can see Brock Lesnar getting over more than Seth Rollins is getting over currently. I just really see this falling on its heels, because if they let Brock do all these little things, before long it will start getting like catchy and people will start doing it, and
those t-shirts are going to sell.
Yeah, exactly. So this is such a bad move, especially when you're trying to get Seth over. Man, it's just another. He's facing Baron Corbin at the next, we call it pay-per-view. Well, it is a pay-per-view saying that, but in Saudi Arabia. And yet, realistically, I think, much like when Roman was champion or anyone else was champion, as long as Brock Lesnar's around, you don't really feel that they're the guy, because they haven't done a good enough job of having... if this boils down to Seth versus Brock again, but they do a longer match and they have it like Brock when he faced Finn Balor, or Brock when he faced Daniel Bryan. If they do that kind of a match, but with Seth Rollins winning, I think that's a real passing of the torch. But the problem is, the way they did it at WrestleMania was so sort of like protecting Brock, that we still all really firmly believe Brock is still the guy. And they've really got to get away from that now. Poor old Seth Rollins, he's had Roman Reigns to contend with. We thought he'd be helped out with Roman going to SmackDown. Turns out it didn't make any difference, did it? Because Roman's back on it. So all these things are against Seth Rollins. He's got Roman showing up every week, and then he's got Brock at the moment. Next week he'll have The Undertaker as well. So, I don't know. You're trying to make Seth the guy, and when they were doing this with John Cena back in the day, everything was on John Cena. They made sure of it, but I don't feel like they are. I still don't think they truly believe, Matt, that Seth Rollins is the guy that can carry the company. And I just got a feeling that they may just drop the ball after all. It wouldn't surprise me at this point. I've just said about what they should do with Brock Lesnar and having that match, but it wouldn't surprise me if it goes the other way and just literally goes back to Brock. And we're back where we were about 5 years ago. Nothing's changed, and everyone is still in the same spot. It's like a chessboard. Everyone's exactly where they were, except there's been a few taken off the board because they've either left or we've forgotten about them, i.e. Nakamura, guys like that. So it's just not good. Ratings wise, yes, it is still keeping above 2 million, but my God, we're talking about low numbers here with 2 million, aren't we? I mean, we are really struggling here, I feel. I'm going to be so intrigued, Matt, not to keep harping back to AEW, but I'm going to be so intrigued to see what kind of numbers they put in first week. And I don't expect them to get the numbers WWE get in the first week, but I'm just thinking with the amount of momentum that they may get up until December, they may just get it through curiosity of the WWE fan just going, I want to change. And they may just get all their fans tuning in because they keep mentioning AEW. What did you make, Matt, of Sami Zayn? And was that scripted? Wasn't it scripted? Lots of conflicting reports have come out since. What did you make of all that, Matt? And you know, because everyone's harping on that Sammy's mentioned it, but hang on a minute, so did Triple H 3 times at the Hall of Fame, and he didn't have to do that either, but he gave them free publicity there. And we've also heard sort of reports, of Stephanie backstage giving the sort of word out that they're now our rivals, don't say anything about them. Didn't Corey Graves say something as well about it as well? I'm sure he mentioned something, but in any case, Matt, what did you make of this and sort of other people referencing AEW at the moment?
Yeah, it's crazy times, isn't it? You can't say these 3 letters in WWE, but everyone seems to be talking about it. And the fact that Sami Zayn did it, though, it did seem very strange that he would do that he would come out and just say that. I mean, he doesn't really look like the person that wants to stir the pot a lot of the times. He does seem to actually do what's expected of him, and he's been given quite a lot of mic time lately, so you think the trust would be there, that they can trust him on that microphone. So it is a little bit strange to go along that route. For me, it feels like he was allowed to say it, but at the same time, like, if he was allowed to say it, it's incredibly stupid, because all it does is get people like thinking about AEW again. Maybe they might have been concentrating on WWE product in that moment in time. And also, it's just free publicity, like you said. You don't really want to do that. And Vince McMahon, for many years, he's been that type of guy where he would never mention the rival products. He never really talk about TNA until recently. Only recently now has that been a thing what's happened. And for a very long time, it was like a blacklist. If you wrestled in TNA, it was going to be very hard for you to get into the WWE.
Well, you think about the Monday Night Wars, WCW would always mention WWE, but Vince would very, very rarely ever mention. He'd never say WCW, but he would do little like gimmicks of WCW guys like the fake Hogan and stuff like that, but he would never outright go WCW and stuff like that. It was just not something he did. So I do think it was scripted along with you, because the last few weeks Sami Zayn, I think that Vince is actually feeding him the lines. I think it's like Sami Zayn is advocating what Vince McMahon's trying to get out there. Like, he's trying to say, the product's bad. We agree with you. The product is bad. And, I think it's Vince trying to be edgy, but what a big mistake that was, because not only was AEW trending the night before, Matt, 2 nights before that, it started trending again during Raw after that part. I mean, that is such a terrible move on their part. But what do you make of this controversial statement, Matt? Very sort of, I guess, what's the word? Conspiracy-like. Vince Russo, Matt, bro. You know what I'm talking about, bro. Come on, bro. He's come out with this, Matt. He believes that they're in collusion with each other. He thinks that the WWE and AEW are working with each other. What do you make to that? And would that be the most shocking revelation of all?
Yeah, it's controversial. It's not beyond the realms of belief.
No, you're right.
I think it's unlikely. But I think also to that point, to some extent, all wrestling companies are sort of in bed with WWE, because you have to admit that WWE is the powerhouse in wrestling. That is the end goal for a lot of wrestlers. They want to end up there. They want to make the big bucks. So a lot of the people probably in AEW now, even though it's a hot product, they may have the intent of getting to WWE one day. So at the end of the day, all wrestling is good, no matter what company you're in. If you're popular, if you're making a thing for yourself, you're making a name for yourself, it's a healthy environment. If you're bringing more fans in, that's just more fans that may turn to WWE. So talking about AEW might not be such a bad thing. And I think where the numbers are so low like they are now, around 2 million